Kia ora whanau, no mai hara mai, hello and welcome to Fly Palmy Arena here in Palmerston North. The mighty Manawatu, Justin Nelson with you, so too Natu Tafale, Sky Broadband Rapid League moments away. Property Brokers, Manawatu Jets up against the Jade Cup Auckland Tuatara. Round 13, of course, Sal's NBL to come later tonight. There's our favourite fans in the Sal's NBL. They love it, don't they? And a big one about to unfold tonight. Thursday night hoops. Good evening, Natu.
Good evening. Kia ora to everyone. Yeah, really good to be here, especially the weather a lot more milder than the cold snap that came through here last week. So
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Pretty good.
There's Sky Broadband Rapid League ladder as it stands at the moment. Giants, the reigning champs, leading the way, and they look pretty good for back-to-back. Don't forget all of the points scored in Rapid League and conceded go over onto this Sal's NBL ladder as well. Jets there sitting down in 9th. We're about to see them in action here tonight. Let's have a look at the Tuatara starters. And they're just getting deeper all the time. Oh, Benny's in the house. Looks like he's got the lightsaber out tonight. He's
it's dangerous.
Ready for a fight. Tuatara starters, McIntosh, Riley, Wilkie, Ledger and Barrow. They've had some inclusions obviously in the last few weeks, and they're looking deeper as the weeks go by. There's Zach Riley right in the middle of the screen, and he'll be a big part of this game. The Jet starters, always action-packed, especially their two-guard front in Tyson Tarapeese and Tinashe Matabananzo. Crowley Napier joins them, Tahuki, and of course big Totoko Wynyard will hold down that centre position. Our all-important Chemist Warehouse head-to-head. This is what we're looking like, Natu, and there's not a lot that separates these teams.
No, there's not. There's not. But it's quite interesting to see what's going to happen with the bigs. A good battle here with Josh Ledger and
Totoko?
Totoko Wynyard.
I reckon Nick Barrow will be getting his head in there somewhere as well. Keep an eye on those interior battles. There's our Barter Card officials, Mikey Graham, Sasha Nicholson and Elijah Mareko. We are seconds away from a start. Thursday night hoops. Sal's NBL coming your way a little bit later tonight. What a big one that'll be between the Jets and the Tuatara. Every game counts right now. We're underway in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. 4x4 minute quarters, of course. Only the players coming off the bench in tonight's later game allowed on the court in this one. And we are underway with the Tuatara. Zach Riley with the opening shot. Can't put that away.
Yeah, a couple of pin-down screens to free their wings to get into their set. Good-looking action there for the Tuatara to start, but they just couldn't make that shot.
Matabananzo up and in from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. He's made a habit of doing that this season, hasn't he?
Yeah. Tuatara a bit slow on their coverage there.
Jets, of course, in their camo green. Tuatara in their teal tonight. Here's Ledger backing down Crowley Napier. Finds a way
Barrow.
Through to Barrow. Copped a little bit of a knock there as well. I don't mind the no whistle.
Nice pocket pass here from Josh Ledger.
Tarapeese, 16 points a game. Highest scorer in the competition. Launches a three. That one slightly off to the right. Good contest defensively from Riley then. Of course, back mid-season, Zach Riley. We'll get to see a bit of him tonight. That's going to be an offensive foul. The old chicken wing, the hook for Josh Ledger. Well picked up by Mikey Graham. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay, here it is.
Close.
Not a lot in it, but still the action was there, and visually, that's what he was picked up for. Tahuki for three, goes all the way over the top. And slow scoring to start this one. 1.5 in, 2 points apiece. Jets 5 wins, 9 losses in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Tuatara slightly better at 7-7. Barrow, bread and butter for Nick Barrow.
Some nice floppy action there from the Tuatara, and then nice high-low action from Ledger to Barrow.
That was Matabananzo to Wynyard.
Wow, he just said, get out of my way.
He just stuffed that down like a cotton ball, didn't he? Here's McIntosh. Sharpshooter from distance. Yep. Backs that out to Ledger for 3. Short. Barrow contest. Wynyard wins it. 4 apiece. Matabananzo for 3. Well, we know the Jets love to shoot from downtown. Not putting it on the board at the moment. Yeah, and look at Ledger, coast to coast.
Coast to coast.
They take the lead by 2, and that's going to be a foul on Zach Riley. As we get down towards the business end of the Sal's NBL season, of course, the Sky Broadband Rapid League doesn't continue into playoffs. It ends at the completion of the home and away season. But look, we constantly talk about the fact that every point counts, every basket. These points go over to the Sal's NBL ladder. The tightness of the Sal's NBL ladder at the moment, Natu, and the closeness of the games, there is no doubt, Green Monsters in the house tonight, there is no doubt that I just think points percentage is going to come into it.
It's going to impact where teams finish. So it's really important that, you know, if you're going to win games, you've got to win them big. If you're going to lose them, you've got to lose them tight. So,
and you have to score in the Rapid League, as Zach Riley does that right on cue. What it does is it just adds real legitimacy to this competition, doesn't it?
Yep, 100%. Out by us here.
How many times have we seen him do that on this court this season? Ties it up at 8 apiece. Wilkie to Riley, the Ledger screen. Here comes Wilkie. He's a three-point specialist as well. And gee, I reckon that came straight off the leg of Matabananzo. It has been reversed now. It has been reversed. So Elijah Mareko, the Barter Card official, recognised straight away that he had pointed in the wrong direction originally. And he quickly corrected that. Bit of a Star Wars theme going on here tonight at Fly Palmy Arena.
Oh, I love Star Wars, mate.
Look at that in the background there. Stormtrooper and Darth Vader walking. There you go. That's what we're talking about.
Hey.
Look forward to that throughout the evening. McIntosh on the drive. Chris McIntosh found a way through.
Just couldn't finish. Turned the corner. Nice got in the paint. Just couldn't finish.
8 apiece, Matabananzo. Tarape Ese picked up his pivot foot there. That was a travel, not picked up by the official. Can't put it away though. Tarape Ese. Ledger has already gone coast to coast once in this quarter. McIntosh looks at the clock, knows the time. Shot clock is about 2 seconds inside the game clock here. What can the Tuatara come up with? Ione does really well to get all the way to the hoop, and he's off to the Chemist Warehouse for the bonus.
Strong move by the young man.
Casey
used that on ball, drove hard, stepped through, nice finish.
Did well, didn't he?
Yeah, good concentration.
Speaking of concentration, at the Chemist Warehouse stripe for the bonus, and he puts that away. So margin at 3, got to go quick here. 4 to 3 to 2. And Tahuki right on the buzzer. In fact, sorry, a pungo, I should say, on the buzzer. Unable to put that away. And that'll be our quarter time score. First one down for tonight in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Tuatara lead it by 3, 11 to 8 here at Fly Palmy Arena. Justin Nelson with you. Natu Tafale sitting beside me. You at home can have a look at the any large pizza. This is the special we always love to see from Sal's, and that is the week 13 super special. Any large pizza, 25% off, or as Casey would say, 2 free slices. Casey, Frank, what did you make of the first quarter, Natu?
Yeah, I think it was just, you know, it's just sparring really. It's like a boxing match, both teams sparring each other out, and it's only an 11-8 score at the end of that quarter. Good to see Josh Ledger back here. He played for the Jets a few years back. Good to see him rebounding and actually pushing the ball, which allows the guards to get to wing spots, get down to those corner hugs and look for easy shots. Yeah, Jets are right there. Tata Paese, I think he'll start heating up. He's the leading scorer for both teams, 4 points apiece.
Gee, I'll tell you what, when you go green here at Fly Palmy Arena, looks like there's levels of green, and whoever that is sitting in the middle, can't quite see the face at the moment, but that is next level. Absolute next level stuff. Thursday night in the NZNBL. One game played last night to start us off in week 13. The Rams at home took down the Phi 77-68. Second quarter underway. Wynyard, too big, too strong. It's what you love to see from your big men, isn't it?
He just got too deep. Barrow allowed him to physically push him down there and get too deep. You'd like to see Barrow push him out a little bit further, but good finish by Wynyard. Brings
the margin back to 1. Here is Barrow. Ione. And did he cop a knock there, or was there a hand on the ball? Foul has been called. It's going to be on Totoko Wynyard, who, got to say, it's usually a clear sign when the player doesn't complain about it. Let's have a look here. Oh, maybe just tickled the arm.
Yeah. I like Johnny. You know, he's a bit of a slasher. He likes to get to the basket. Great first step, nice and quick.
Another young man coming through the ranks here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. This Skyboard Band Rapid League has been so good for the exposure and development of young players, and he trains a couple. He's had a good start. Casey Ione. Here's Metabananzo. Back to his right and all the way to the glass.
Yeah, straight line drive. Ioane overplaying him too much on that time. A good drive of Metabananzo.
Got some speed, hasn't he, Tinashe?
Yep.
Real turn of foot.
Couple of staggers there for Wilkie. He drives, step back,
and nails it.
Yeah, good execution from the Tuatara there.
Just from that elbow position for Dylan Wilkie. Averages 8 points a game in the Rapid League. Yeah. Corner 3, Hapango, all the way over the top to Huki, battling for it. And comes up with it. Jets to go again. Tarapaese sets it up inside, outside, and they'll get a third. Offensive. And this will go down. Mark my words. No. Gee, it did everything but, didn't it? Off the hand of Tyson Tarapaese. He doesn't often miss them when he's got that space.
Great early screen, on-ball screen from
Zach Riley with the 2. And all of a sudden, Tuatara out by 5. On a nice little run here. Wanting it inside, Wynyard.
There we go, Wynyard and Barrow.
Back out to Metabananzo, that pass.
Great help from Wilkie from their weak side. He's a low man, came across.
And Barrow should have finished at the other end. Chance goes begging for the Tuatara. Look at Metabananzo up quick. He's actually waiting for the cavalry to arrive. Tarapaese backs it out. Back to his combo guard, Metabananzo. Shot clock at 7. And I think Josh Ledger just stepped in at the last minute there. He probably doesn't like the call, Josh Ledger, but the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay will show us that he did step up. And it always looks worse when it's a big body on a small body. Here you go, just stepped right there. And that's a clear foul. I do like the plea for innocence, but the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay says otherwise.
Who, me?
Tuatara by 5. Make that 4. On the double this week, the Auckland Tuatara here tonight in Palmerston North, which has proven to be a really tough place to win this season in the NZNBL. The Jets here at home, 6 wins, 1 loss.
Yep. This is their fortress.
In fact, their only loss this season here at home, here's McIntosh for 3, was against the Saints by 1. Tuatara take on the Saints Saturday night in the capital. All of the action, of course, live right here on Sky Sport. That'll be a good contest. Matabananzo, sorry, I should say Thadapayese. Getting a hand on it there, Ledger. That was a clear block, yeah.
Initially, some great defense from Zach Riley.
Riley to the corner. Ledger for the three. Shots aren't dropping here for both teams. McIntosh to Riley, and he changes that with a three.
Yeah, great O-ball by McIntosh. Well, he wasn't even contested, so an easy offensive rebound. And a great shot there from Zach Riley.
7 points now for Zach Riley. Tuatara lead by 6. Shot clock at 6.
Oh.
Crowley Napier unable to put that away. BNZ player timeouts available for both teams. Riley looking to use the time here. The shot clock is marginally inside the game clock, and Zach Riley says we'll have a BNZ player timeout, thanks. As we head down towards a half-time. And there we go, there's the QR code on screen. Just a few weeks left now for you to scan that QR code and fill in your details, grab a group of friends, some mates, family, whatever it may be. And with thanks to BNZ, you can come along and enjoy some Sal's NBL action up and down the country. The BNZ ticket to the big game, inspiring the next generation of basketballers. Wonderful program. Late chance here, Tuatara. Riley adds another 2. He's got 9. And Tinashe Matabananzo looking around for the Barter card officials. He has called a BNZ player timeout. It is going to count, even though the buzzer's gone. I reckon there'll be about 2 seconds on the clock here. In fact, it's going to be 3.
Yeah. Great work from Zach Riley there, rejecting the on-ball and then just an easy pull-up jumper at the foul line.
Oh, no, I was right the first time. It's going to be 2. BNZ ticket to the big game. There it is again, the QR code. Dion Collins is arguing over 1 second. I like that. Rightio, let's see what the Jets can come up with here in 2 seconds. Something like this is the beauty of the BNZ player timeout. You advance the ball and you get a chance. But a pass to top Wynyard, and there you go. You get 2 out of it.
Oh.
That right there is why the BNZ player timeout is so much fun.
Yep.
Advance the ball with 2 seconds to play, and you come up with this. How good is that, Natu?
Yeah, that was a great play. Poor communication from the Tuatara, but hey, that's what happens when you try and help too much, and then when you drop it underneath for an easy basket, easy slam.
22-16 at the half here at Fly Palmy Arena. Big one coming up tonight.
Yep. Between
the Jets and the Tuatara. In fact, we might put a little bit of pressure on our production team upstairs, I should say, our production staff upstairs. The Sal's NBL ladder, just to emphasise how close it is. Let's see if we can bring it up for you. There you go, on cue. And tonight, it's 4v5. Rams have clinched a finals position. Dual reigning champions are their home. They've clinched their spot. The Saints are nearly there. Very, very close. Then have a look at this. Airs, Jets, Tuatara, Sharks. Nothing in it. Wait till we turn the page. Look at that. Phi, Bulls, Hawks, all in the race. The Giants can still make it. That's how close it is in the Sal's NBL. Some big games coming up across week 13. Giants and the Nuggets tomorrow night. Saints and the Tuatara, that's the standalone Saturday game, Saturday night, and a couple of big ones on Sunday afternoon. Hawks and the Airs, I'm looking forward to heading up for that one at Hawke's Bay.
And that'll be your last game, your last call.
It will be my last call, you're spot on. Yep. And how about this one for a Sunday evening special? Sharks, thanks very much. We are here, yes. Sharks and the Bulls on Sunday night. Bulls have lost their last 6. That's going to be a big one, isn't it? Second half underway. Here we go. Sky Broadband Rapid League, Tuatara by 6. And they get first possession, and they get the first points. Zach Riley.
Yeah, great floppy action. Zach Riley caught it, rejected the 2 on balls and went straight to the basket.
He's up to 11 now, game high scorer. Matabananzo, Wynyard providing some cover. Tarapayese, shot clock at 6. Crowley Napier on the drive. Ledger has it covered on the turnaround. Back of the iron.
That basket, Zach Riley leading scorer at the moment with 11. He shoots the 3.
May add another 3. Doesn't. Wynyard and Ione all locked up. And it'll be a Jets ball. What's your feel for tonight, Natu?
I just feel Tuatara had a good win against the Phi.
We're talking Sal's NBL later tonight, of course.
Obviously. They had a good win against the Phi. Jets had a loss against the Giants. You know, I would have to say Tuatara
tonight.
Yeah, I think they'll get up for that one.
Mind you, best I've seen the Giants play last week all season. They were very, very good, weren't they? Casey Iona has had a good first half. And he attracts some attention there. He's off to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. There's big Totoko Wynyard.
This is a nice, strong drive by Casey Ioane. Really strong. Bumps off Crowley Napier, and he gets that foul. It's good to see the young player being aggressive.
Sterling Sports, the home of all of the team merch in the Sal's NBL and here in Rapid League. You can go in store, Sterling Sports, or scan that QR code. That'll take you through to the online shop. Spend away, get your favourite colours. And you can look every bit the as we head down towards the final 6 in season 2025. I know the Rams will start favourite, Natu, but who else is going to be in the mix?
Yeah, one of the things that taught me something when I watched them play their last game last night.
Tuatara?
No,
last night. Sorry, the Rams.
The Rams.
Yep.
Is that they can play poorly. They can play below par and they still win. They still find a way to win.
It's a good team, isn't it? Yeah, you're spot on. That's a really good call.
Yeah.
Even when you're not having a good day or a good night, you still find a way
to win.
Just the 2 losses this season for the Rams. They look sharp, don't they? They're going to be tough to beat. Crowley Napier out to Matabananzo. Shot clock at 9. One way, then the other. Matabananzo coming through to Hookie, looking for the tap in there. He's now been in the system, back here for a few weeks now. Kairangi to Hookie. And Zach Riley.
Another 3. He's game leading scorer at 14.
Dominated this one, hasn't he?
This is the value of Josh Ledger, a big pushing the ball down the floor and the guards getting open. Great pass.
Matabananzo to the corner.
Ooh.
And another deep shot. Riley Napier. Riley, he's got some space there around the Barrow screen. Ooh. He's feeling it right now.
And there's Ioane again being aggressive on the boards.
Casey Ioane sends it out. Ledger, he wants Barrow. Barrow wants the ball. Barrow gets the ball and he finishes.
Good isolation play, good recognition from McIntosh.
Minute to play in this third quarter. That lead is now out to 14. Tarapayese has been really well held in this game. Just 4 points, averages 16 a game. Just can't get going right now. Riley, 14.6 rebounds for Zach Riley. McIntosh to Barrow, and
there's Ioane again. Another offensive rebound.
Barrow doesn't miss many shots from that distance, it must be said. Totoko Wynyard with the block. Loose ball picked up. Crowley Napier now on the move. Chance for the Jets. 16 seconds to play in this third quarter. Tarapayese. McIntosh has done well there defensively. Yeah. He's really kept him quiet.
Manawatū, good kick.
Inside, outside ball, Crowley Napier. And that'll do us right on the buzzer. The Jets get something to celebrate.
Yeah, great middle on ball. Get into the paint. Good kick out. Great shot.
Margin at 11 with a quarter to play tonight. in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. 2 feet in the paint, Manawatu, right into the corner, and nothing but net for Josh Crowley-Napier. There's Tony Webster preparing for tonight's Big Sal's NBL clash. No Corey Webster tonight, out again, but I am hearing massive chance to return next week. Really big chance to return next week. Corey Webster, that is the word here at Fly Palmy Arena, was a legitimate chance to play tonight. And they are expecting his presence back on court next week, the Jets, when they take on the Rams. Right here. One. That'll be a big one, won't it?
Good game.
Photos all around. Benny's got his lightsaber. It is a bit of a Star Wars theme here tonight in Palmerston North. And everyone having a little bit of fun with that. Is that Yoda?
Yeah.
Is that Yoda in the stands? It looks like Yoda, doesn't it? Hey? Didn't even have to dress up, our old mate.
Oh.
Yoda's with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Rightio, margin at 11. What have the Jets got to do from here?
They've just got to, first of all, they got to box out. They've got to box out and retain their own defensive rebounds and start being more aggressive in attacking the basket. The Tuatara have done a great job at jamming and getting up and jamming and getting those extra rebounds. The Jets have to be real mindful of that, and they've got to push the ball. They don't have much time to cut into that lead.
What they didn't need to do is they didn't need to give up that 3 to Dylan Wilkie.
And that's the advantages of those pin downs, that floppy action where he just comes off a turnout and then catches and he's open. And for a shooter, that's no better way to start scoring.
14 points for Zach Riley tonight, 7 rebounds as well. That is a dominant game. Crowley-Napier gave up the 3, off one leg for the 2. Awani comes up with it. He's got a couple to beat, found a way through though.
There's Barrow, another offensive rebound.
Police officer, Constable Nick Barrow finds Dylan Wilkie. And they get the opening 5 points of this last quarter. Wynyard ran into Barrow. Tahuki, catch and shoot. Crowley-Napier. Battle on the boards. And I reckon that might be a Jets ball.
Jets ball, yeah.
Just the change of decision there. That is definitely the right call from the Barter card officials.
The Jets struggling a little bit with their shape on offense. All they need is to have someone control the tempo and get back into their actions.
13-3 run since half-time for the Tuatara. There's Thada PS there, tough shot, and you can see the result of that. Chris McIntosh comes up quickly with it. Jets shooting at 26%, Tuatara at 52% on the Chemist Warehouse stats tonight. Here's Chris McIntosh, stalwart of the competition. So too Barrow. Wilkie for 3. Unable to drop that one. Jets, 2 of 14 from distance. Yeah. Tuatara marginally better, 3 of 11. Manawatu just made it easy for Ledger in the end. And they're going to have 10 on the shot clock. Just over 2 minutes to play. Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight.
Yeah, the Jets are not showing a lot of energy, energy and to get into this game, a bit of effort.
It's been a tough outing for them, hasn't it? Thada PSS, yeah, speaking of tough, hasn't been his game.
Yep.
They go again, Hapungo for 3, and that goes down.
Finally.
Matangere Hapungo from distance. That might be a deep 2, actually, unfortunately for him. Every point counts, of course. Off one leg, short corner, Wilkie. And these players know it as well.
There's
Ioane did really well to Barrow, who should finish and does. You're just getting back to it. That points percentage, it's going to be so important come the end of the season in the Sal's NBL. These players are well aware of it. They know that they're going to keep getting up and down here. Mata Bonanzo adds 2 for the Jets. Margin at 13. Just over 75 seconds to play. Ledger looking at his options.
It's a flare screen, nice flare screen from Barrow.
And Wilkie had three. He's starting to find his rhythm here late.
Great find from Josh Ledger.
Double digits for him tonight. Tarapayese, Matabananzo, Tuhuki.
Jets struggling from the three-point line at the moment. Their shooting percentage is, what, 26 at the moment?
Yeah, lower.
Lower.
Ledger, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks.
Great pass. Great look. Wilkie apologises to Ledger.
One of the favourite stats in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Andrew Mulligan always talks about the triple five. He reckons that's the sign of a great game, and hard to argue with it. And I can tell you that Zach Riley tonight is 5 assists short of the triple five. 14.7 rebounds. No assists to go with it. There he is taking a break. We're going to see a bit more of him tonight. He'll figure prominently in the Sal's NBL. But he's had a big one here. We've got BNZ player timeout. 30 seconds to play. There's that QR code again. Certainly inspiring the next generation of basketballers, all the boys and girls up and down the country. They are massive supporters of basketball here in New Zealand, BNZ. And they want to get you along to a Sal's NBL game. Just scan that QR code, fill in your details, and you can come along and join us with the BNZ ticket to the big game. And out of that timeout, Tuatara advance the ball. 14 seconds on the shot clock, 30 in the game.
Bit of misdirection for Wilkie, yeah.
Wide open, Jets. Another triple.
That was, actually, if I was a head coach there, I would be pulling my hair out.
Third triple of the game for Dylan Wilkie. He's up to 13 points. Tarapayese, late points for him. Just 7 tonight with that 3. 2 of 11 shooting for Tyson Tarapayese. So he's definitely had the shots.
Yeah, he struggled tonight.
Just hasn't gone his way. There he is. Chris McIntosh has done a really good job defensively on him as well.
And also Zach Riley when he was on him as well. So
here we go. Late stages. McIntosh just opens up for him. Sends it out. Awani for 3. Ball kept alive. Ends up with McIntosh on the buzzer. And that is a big result tonight for the Auckland Tuatara. Not only do they get home by 45-27, but they go plus 18 on the Sal's NBL ladder. And right now, where it is so tight, from what, 3 down to 10, 3 down to 9 or 10, every point counts. And that is a great result for the Aucklanders tonight. Chemist Warehouse stat sheet, Zach Riley and Dylan Wilkie, they were pretty good.
They were. You know, Zach set the tempo early with his shots, and then Dylan Wilkie came on in that second half, knocking down threes, getting real good looks with the rebounds. Zach Riley again, 7 rebounds. Ledger with 5, McIntosh and White had 4. For the Jets, Tuhuki had 5. Wynyard did a great job in the first half, 4 rebounds, and Josh Crowley with 4 assists. We had Josh Ledger with 5.
Had a good game.
Yeah, had a good game for a big. That's good assist ratio. McIntosh and Ioane with 2, Barrow 1, and Manawatu with 3, Tarapayese with 2, and Ty Wynyard with 1.
As we continue to have a look at the Chemist Warehouse stats, couple of blocks each for Totoka Wynyard and Josh Ledger. Let's have a look at the steals. Just a couple of those going the way of the Tuatara. So there's the first one down tonight. Benny's in the house. He's got the saber, the lightsaber that is. It is Star Wars night tonight. Not sure that those two are going to be dressing up anytime soon. And we all look ahead now to some Thursday night fun in the Sal's NBL. Property Brokers Manawatu Jets up against the Jade Cup Auckland Tuatara. A big one coming up tonight. 4 plays 5. We're going to be back here with all of the action right here on Sky Sport from 7 p.m. local time. We'll see you then.
welcome our team, but first of all, Palmerston North, if we can put our hands together and give a warm welcome to the Auckland Tuatara. All right, lights please. Let's welcome your
Manawatu and TRC Toyota, Palmerston North City Council, Courtesy Forward, Zenith Fitness, MediaWorks, More FM in the Breeze, Rosie O'Grady's, Sayer Industries, Cook Street Pharmacy, and Stewart's Mitre 10. Cochrane Law, Landmark Homes, Oboe, P3 Physio, Cafe Local, Green Law, PTS, Venues Palmerston North, Cartown, and Belfer Cleaning.
All right, now we have, like every game, the miss twice, buy a slice and get a free slice of Sal's Pizza. Now I am still looking for 6 pizza shakers to help us out this game. So if you want to do this, please, I need 6. Just walking sensibly. Walking. All right, come on. Alright, Palmy, if you can get a noise sound check. If you've got your clickers out there, I want to hear them. Let's go. Alright, how about those feet? Alright, what about your voices? Let's make some noise! Alright, feet, fans, and voice. Go! Let's break it up. A block, make some noise. That's what I thought. C block. A block. That was better. That was a lot better. C block. You ready? B block. Nice, I'll put you there with A block. And there's less of you, I reckon I was about the same as the A block. Everybody together, 1, 2, 3, go! Alright, once again, if you don't have a fan or a clapper, you can grab yourself one just out the door as you walk into the left-hand side. You can grab one there, or I do have a few over here on my table. The other thing is when our guys go up for a free throw, you're going to open up your fan, holding it high, and it is green. Let me see it. Pop it up. Any more? More. Come on. Take it green. There we go. Nice work. All right, let's make some noise. Come on.
We'd like to thank the league sponsors: Sal's Pizza, GJ Garden, Sky, Molten, Arlong, Barnacan, ESPN, Sky Sport, Sky Broadband, Chemist Warehouse, BNZ, New Balance, Sterling Sport, Sky Open, and Basketball New Zealand. Thank you.
make sure to get yourself comfy, grab yourself something to eat out in the foyer if you like, and then take seat, get ready for the game tipping off at 7 p.m. Things to benches, please. Things to benches. Introducing the starting five of the Auckland Tuatara. Number 8, Luther Muhammad. Number 0, Charles Pride. Number 5, Wyatt Truck. Number 32.
Kia ora, e whanau nā mai, hana mai, hello and welcome to Fly Palmy Arena. Thursday night hoops in the Cells NBL, the mighty Manawatu, and boy, has this been a fortress in season 2025. The property brokers Manawatu Jets tonight up against the J Cup Auckland Tuatara, a big one as fourth takes on fifth. And we are set for what I think is going to be a very close contest. Justin Nelson with you. Natu Tofale is sitting beside me. Every game counts in the Cells NBL, and look at that, the mixandpick.com poll. Who gets the win? Not much between them. Good evening to you, Natu.
Good evening, and good evening, viewers. Yeah, this is a real pivotal game for both teams. Jets coming off a loss against the Giants, and Tuatara gaining some momentum with their win against the Phi. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that those odds are pretty close between both teams.
Bit of a Star Wars theme happening tonight here at Fly Palmy Arena as well. There's going to be plenty of sights and sounds as the night unfolds. Let's have a look at the Cells NBL ladder. It is week 13 of the competition. One game last night, the Rams defeated the Phi 77-68. Rams have clinched a finals berth. The dual reigning champs looking great for a three-peat. Saints are nearly there. We go down to 4 and 5 tonight, the Jets and the Tuatara. Now, they are the updated points for and against after the earlier Sky Broadband Rapid League. The Tuatara getting that win 45-27. Great points, because look at that. That points percentage, 0.7 separates these two teams. And I can tell you right now, if the Aucklanders win by 6 or more points tonight, they leapfrog the Jets and go into 4th.
Yeah, and it's going to be great for the Tuatara. You know, they've got a double hitter. Tonight they're playing the Jets. Saturday they play with the Saints. So if they can get a win tonight, that sets them up. You know, if they do the split and win 1 out of 2, that's positive. That's what they need. Who knows?
I don't know if Rob Lowe brushed his hair today, but he's got that wild look going on, hasn't he? Let's have a look at the games coming up. Jam and June, week 13. Giants and the Nuggets tomorrow night. Giants got to keep winning. If they're any chance, they must keep winning. Saints and the Tuatara. That is a big one on Saturday night. You and I are there for that one. Looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to going to Hawke's Bay on Sunday. Casey Frank joining me there for the Hawks and the Airs. Maybe last roll of the dice for the Hawks. They've got to find some form. And look at this. Week 13 finishes Sunday night in Invercargill. Grab your tickets for this one. Sharks, they are on the hunt. They're on the move. The Bulls have lost their last 6. They have slumped from 3rd to 9th on the ladder.
I don't, you know, when I look at that game, Justin, I just see that the Sharks have got all the momentum. Yep. And the Bulls haven't got any momentum. So I don't want to jinx the Sharks, but you know I think they're right there. I think they'll win their game. You know what though?
It's hard to keep winning, and the level of the competition, those losses are going to stop at some stage for the Bulls. They will. Don't know if it'll happen this week. We'll wait and see. Here's how the J Cup Tuatara is starting tonight. Pride, Tuach, Mohammed, Vodanovic, and Lowe. This is a team. If they can find some form and find some rhythm over the next few weeks, I really think they're a dark horse. Yeah, Luther Mohammed is a huge part of it, isn't he?
He's just finding his form now. It's the Luther Mohammed from last year, so last year's MVP. So this guy is you know, he's had the games with the team. The chemistry's right now. You're seeing that chemistry. Zach Riley's come in. You know, he's given them the punch off the bench. So you know, the Tuatara have got a good group, and they've got some momentum. So. Jets are going to have to be real careful with the ball. You look at the Giants game, they turned the ball over. They had the most turnovers in that game, so they just need to take care of the ball.
Well, Luther Mohammed, there he is on screen. I had the chance to have a chat with him a short time ago. Let's go and check in with Luther. Well, Luther, you've been in town for a little while now. How have you fitted in with the Tuatara?
Fitting in well. It's all about just taking it day by day and building chemistry. I felt like we've been doing that lately, which is why we've been getting the results we've been getting.
Tough competition, every game's big, up against the Jets tonight. What's the team taken on board about this team you're about to play?
They're in 4th spot, so we come in. So it's all about just starting the game with the right energy. I feel like some of the last few games we didn't come with the right energy. I know against the Bulls we was down like 15-4 at the beginning of the game. So really just coming with the right start and keeping the same momentum, same effort from start to finish, putting together a good 40 minutes of hard work. We haven't done that yet.
Best of luck out there tonight.
All right, thank you.
Well, the Tuatara are 3-3 on the road this season, but this team in green are 6-1 here at home. Quite an amazing record. This is a fortress. Their only loss here was to the Saints by 1. Russo, Nance, Rose, Gibson, Miller, Jose, Goins. Great to see Kenny Goins back. They missed him terribly last week. This is a settled 5. We know what they're capable of, and more importantly, Natu, we know what they're capable of right here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really liking the way that Dante Russo-Nance has been playing. He's been the leader over the games that, you know, Corey Webster hasn't been here. So he's set the tone for the team, both offensively and defensively. He's tough, you know. He's going to be, but he's going to have to guard Muhammad tonight. So a different prospect in that matchup. So, but again, Goins is back, which is great for the Jets. And like you said, they didn't have him against the Giants, so it's a big. It's really big for the Jets that he's back on tonight. If you look over to the Tuatara, you know, I'm thinking about Rob Lowe. Are we seeing, you know, all-star Rob Lowe? Not at the moment. I think he's got a lot to, you know, don't fall asleep on him, because for me, he's still, in my eyes, the best big in New Zealand at the moment. And he will cause them some problems tonight. They've got to keep him off the boards, and also his passing and shooting ability as well. They've got to be really spot on with their coverages with Rob Lowe.
Well, you talked about the season that Dante Russo-Nance is having. Big matchup for him tonight against Luther Muhammad. Let's go and check in with the young star. Here's Dante. Dante, you simply can't sleep in the Cells NBL. Every game means something. What have you worked on this week? How's the team prepared for tonight?
Just kind of training hard kind of thing. We kind of came out slow against Nelson, so just kind of keeping that pace up all game throughout 40 minutes. I think it's going to be a big task. They got players all over the floor, so just being able to contain them, knowing where everyone is at on the floor, so just kind of, focusing on that.
It might be decades since we've talked about the Jets having such a great advantage here on their home floor. That's a big factor coming into the game. The fans have been great, we know that. But stepping out here at home, they're must-win, aren't they? Yeah,
definitely. Home games are always must-wins. We always try to win at home. And the fans do a great job of providing that energy and spark for us, so hopefully they bring that tonight and we're able to get a win for them.
Tonight you go up against Luther Muhammad. He's a handful. What are the plans?
Just staying in between him and the basket, and kind of just containing him, and I think we'll be able to, if we're able to slow him down as well as Rob Lowe, I think we'll be in pretty good.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
He's had a big season, hasn't he, Dante Russo-Nance? He's going to have to be at his best tonight. I've got some Webster news to come in just a moment as well, so stay tuned. Chemist Warehouse head-to-head, Natu. Let's have a look at this. This is how they line up. We know the class of the Jets here at home. Tuatara, we know the class of that team. Rebounding margin, you talked about the inside game tonight. That's going to be important. Look at those steals. Jets, #1 in the league for steals. The Tuatara, #10.
Yeah, so that's going to be a real problem for the Tuatara tonight. They just got to take care of the ball. That's what they have to do. You know, if the Jets get out and defend and get deflections and steals, this could be the game could be good night.
Bartercard officials, Callum Welch, Mikey Graham and Sasha Nicholson. Rightio, here's the Webster news. Corey Webster should be back playing for the Jets next week. Was a chance to play tonight. All reports are he will be back for the Jets next week, so look out for that. And Ty Webster's on a plane heading back to New Zealand right now, and the whisper is he's a chance to qualify for finals. He must step on court in the next 5 games for the Jets. Watch this space. Are we going to see the Webster family unite here in Palmerston North? That is all ahead of us in the next few days. There is young Ari delivering the molten ball to Miller Jose and Rob Lowe. Turned 11 years of age a couple of days ago, young Ari, and I asked him just a moment ago, who's your favourite player? He said all of them. Let's see if they all deliver the goods tonight. Jets in the green, the Tuatara in that, what is it, dark blue?
Dark blue.
Happy with that? And we are set to go at Fly Palmy Arena. Huge game tonight, Thursday night hoops in the Cells NBL. A top 6 clash as the teams battle their way towards the final 6 this season. It'll be the visitors, the Jade Cup Auckland Tuatara with the opening possession.
Yeah, the Jets in a zone, their 1-2-2 zone.
Muhammad into low, kept it short. And now they go backside to Miller Jose.
Nice start, nice execution on their first play. Little wheel action at the top there, backdoor Miller Jose, easy basket.
Justin Nelson, Natu Tafale with you at the hangar tonight. Charles Pride for three. The Tuatara up and running. Loves the corner three, Charles Pride. Keep an eye on it tonight. Here's Miles Gibson. Quentin Rose, one of the best thieves in the business this season. 3.5 steals a game. Russo Nance well covered. Kenny Goins, front of the iron. Early stages. Luther Muhammad. Well, Gibson kept it in, but gave it straight to Boy Tuach. Gets on the drive. A block from Miller Jose. Tuach finishes it off.
Way to stay with it. He just, you know, relentless. He just stayed with that play.
Rose. Russo Nance.
That's an area of his game that he's really improved as well. His outside shot has been really humming this year.
5 apiece.
That 1-2-2 zone.
Russo Nance, 35% from deep this season. Muhammad to Tuach, corner three, well short.
Good.
Russo Nance on his skates, gets up the floor. Let's see what the Jets run this time around. Some exciting stuff in the opening couple of minutes tonight. Russo
Nice
Nance
backdoor.
to Goins.
Couldn't finish. Good contest there from Rob Lowe.
Great to see Kenny Goins back out there for the Jets tonight. Pride fires away from deep. He missed last week, didn't he, against the Giants, Kenny Goins, and gee, it was a big hole, wasn't it, especially defensively. Rose on the attack, short, Miller Jose.
It's on the boards.
10 offensive rebounds a game, the Jets. Tuatara go at a tick under 9. Lowe copped a little bump there, late whistle, and it's the right decision. Bonus for Rob Lowe at the Chemist Warehouse.
Like that high action, nice lob pass. Let's have a look at it.
So big Rob Lowe heads to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. There's the foul on Kenny Goins, just leaning in. And as Rob Lowe steps up to the Chemist Warehouse stripe, don't forget, in season 2025, with every made shot from the Chemist Warehouse stripe, that won't be one of them. Chemist Warehouse donating money to Hoops in Parks and Hoops in Schools. Wonderful program for Basketball New Zealand, and a big thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Quentin Rose for 3.
Great looking shot in the corner there.
Jets take the lead.
Oh, steal.
Rose, they're still number 1. 3.5 a game. And he goes back to back.
It's a little bit loose with the ball, sloppy with the ball there, Rob Lowe at the top there. But great hands from Rose.
No team makes you pay from turnovers more than the Jets. They are number 1 in the competition. Vidanovic on Miller Jose. Goins comes in to help out.
Good rebound on Goins.
Jets by 5. Oh, feeling it. Quentin Rose. Heat check. Muhammad. Pass. Tuach. And a foul call here.
Is that Goins?
Well, they're going to hope that it's on Miller Jose. It's not. It's on Kenny Goins. That's his second. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. And that's the foul. Kenny Goins knew it straight away, didn't he? He's going to have to come out of the game just 3.5 minutes in. That is a big, big blow for the Jets. One to watch. He is such an impenetrable force defensively, Kenny Goins.
Watch at the line.
Let's see what Boy Tuach can do. He averages, goes at a 63% clip from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Can he add some funds with thanks to Chemist Warehouse to Hoops in Parks and Hoops in Schools? Misses that. 12-8. Russo Nance, Muhammad, that's the key matchup tonight with thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Keep an eye on them. Miller Jose. Oh, met up high illegally, say the Barter Card officials. And that will end in 2 for Isaac Miller-Jose. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Got Rob Lowe off the floor. Boy Tuach with the foul.
Got some high flyers in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. What a success story Isaac Miller-Jose has been. Previously played some games with the Saints and returned home from the States into this Jets lineup. And, gee, he's carved out a starting position, hasn't he?
Role. Yeah, he has. Rebounding, defense, gets out and runs on transition offense.
Splits a pair from the coloured stripe. Tuach inside, found Pride, hand in there.
Yeah, good hand by Miller-Jose. There's our man Jose.
He's got a couple of blocks already, hasn't
they're
he?
struggling with the zone now, right at the moment.
And Dante Rousseau-Nance drains the triple. That'll be a timeout for the Tuatara. Big start tonight from the Green Machine, celebrating all things Star Wars tonight. And the Jets lead at 16-8. Less than 4.5 minutes into the Salza NBL Thursday night contest tonight. Tony Webster takes the seat. If you missed the news pre-game, all reports are Corey Webster back next week, and we believe Ty Webster about to fly back into the country from Europe. Not confirmed, not signed, but there's a whisper. There's a whisper. Cam Glidden, what's he talking about here, Natu?
Yeah, I just think they haven't been able to. There's no solution to the zone, that zone. That 1-2-2 zone. I'd like to see a lot more high post, low post action. Overload on one side of that zone so you can get a guy in the corner, a good, nice corner hug shooter, and then attack the zone that way. Or otherwise, look at your dribble penetration, get to the seams, and then allow the defense to recover, and then pitch for your outside shooters. But all credit to the Jets. That's been their go-to defensive system this whole year, and it's worked for them.
Jets 8 wins, 6 losses this season. 6 of those 8 wins right here at Fly Palmy Arena. 4th on the ladder heading into tonight. Tuatara 7-7, sit in 5th. Tuatara win this by 6+ tonight. They leapfrog the Jets into 4th. Turnover came off a foot clearly. Yep. No whistle there for some reason. Quentin Rose adds another 2. He's up to 7. Quickly up the floor. Charles Pride ran straight into Miller-Jose.
Yeah, that was really good by Rose while the Jets were, while the Tuatara complaining. He just pushed the ball up the floor and got an easy layup.
Rousseau-Nance to Rose. And the Rose almost delivered another thorn there for the Tuatara. Margin of 10. Haven't seen much of Luther Muhammad yet tonight. Dan Fortu into the action now. Rose lurking. Shot clock at 9. Muhammad. Corner. Pride. That's going to be a Jets ball.
Yeah.
They lead by 10. Tyson Thanapaese about to come into the game. I reckon he might give Isaac Miller-Jose a rest. He does.
Smaller lineup.
Good start.
1-4 set here.
Rousseau-Nance.
Direction.
This young man just continues to grow before our eyes. And he's going to do a little bit more growing from the Chemist Warehouse. Draws the foul. 19 points a game this season. Touch under 6 rebounds. Touch under 5 assists.
Yeah, I mean, the coverage on the on-ball, you can't allow Dante Rousseau-Nance to turn the corner and get deep into the paint. There's too many options there. So either you got to hard show that on-ball or you got to switch. But you can't just allow him to get to the lane.
Boy Tuach with the foul. That might be his second as well. So one to watch there. Tuach with 2. Kenny Goins sitting on the pine at the moment with a couple of fouls for the Jets. A few misses early in this game from the Chemist Warehouse. There's Kenny Goins watching on. Rousseau-Nance splits the pair. This zone working well at the moment. Riley now onto the floor as well for the Tuatara. Here he is. had a big game tonight in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Mohammed leaves that short. Jets on the move again. Scary part is Miles Gibson hasn't scored yet. That may change in just a moment.
Tuatara's second.
He's already got 2. So if that's on him,
that's a 3.
that is his 3rd.
Yeah.
So they rolled the dice, the Tuatara, by leaving him out there when he committed his 2nd moments ago on that last drive to the basket. He's just committed a 3rd. So that is a massive blow for the Jade Cup Auckland Tuatara. He goes at 18 points a game, Tuatara, sitting with 3 fouls now, 6 minutes into the game. You love to see it when a coach rolls the dice.
Yep.
But it is a roll of the dice, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to make a decision. I mean, me, I go with 2. You get 2, you sit.
Well, Cam Glidden gambled on that occasion. Tuatara now sits with 3, 4-2, surrounded by green singlets. I think Collins has lent in there for the foul. No, you can put that on Dante Russo-Nance with a hands foul, who's just shaking his head and saying no. And we're going to get a timeout to the Jets. So 3:41 to play in the first quarter tonight. Jets, great start, 21-8. One game last night to tip off week 13 in the Sal's NBL. The Rams, in a defensive battle, got home over the Phi, 77-68. You were saying earlier tonight, Natu, during the Rapid League game, and the one thing about the Rams, there's the foul reaching in, yep, no doubt about that, is even when the Rams don't have a good night out, they find a way to win.
Yeah, they do. They do. Now, we're also discussing whether they should, potentially lose. Will they lose one before, get to the playoffs?
The Rams?
Yeah.
Gee, I
remember last year they lost one, I think, their 2nd to last game or 3rd to last game of the season.
Yeah, I don't know if they will. I don't know if they will the way they're going.
Yeah.
So timeout here for the Jets. Really hot start for them tonight. They're out by 13. We've talked about what the Tuatara need to do. I guess out of that timeout, the message from the Jets will be just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't be surprised if the Jets mix it up and go back to go to man-to-man. It looks like they are.
3 turnovers so far for the Tuatara, none for the Jets.
Jets are back to man-to-man.
Mohammed yet to score. And we know he is a prolific scorer as well. Elevates, there you go. First points for him, Luther Mohammed.
I think the good thing for the Tuatara to be down 10, 11, it's okay. It's first quarter. We've got a 4-quarter game.
There's Gibson, fires over Vodanovic.
There's a great contest from Vodanovic.
Who's on the run now and leaves it behind. Fortuitously for the Tuatara, it's come off Pallacanestro.
Great look from Zach Riley.
Well, I've got to say, as you know, this is season number 7 for me here in New Zealand. And this is going to be the last game I attend here at Fly Palmy Arena. Yep. Believe it or not, back in 2019, the first game I ever attended in the Sal's NBL was right here at Fly Palmy Arena. How things have changed for the Jets over the years, and what a season they're having.
No, you're right, Justin. They have got a great group this year. Their team is rolling. They've got 6 wins at home, 1 loss.
Couple of baskets there as we are reminiscing. 23-12 off that Dante Russo-Nance. He's up to 9 points in this opening quarter now. Leading scorer on the court. There he is, Dante Russo-Nance. Shot clock at 16. Ball in, Dan 4-2.
It's too big at the moment. They went to a zone on that out inbounds.
Good pass, Zach Riley as well.
Yeah.
Rose, 7 points. Can he add another 2 here? You bet he can. You bet he can.
Yeah, that's a mismatch there. Dan Fortu, he's really strong and physical, but Rose is using his finesse to get by him.
9 points apiece. Russo, Nance and Rose leading the way for the Jets. Rob Lowe juggled it. And he doesn't miss too many of those.
No.
Margin at 9, 2 to play. Russo Nance knew that was off target and he got after it and he kept it alive. Yes, he did. Jets will come up with it here. Foul is on Dylan Wilkie. You love to see that from a shooter. If we get a look at this on the GJ Gardner replay, Dante Russo Nance knew that he'd missed this shot straight away, and that was the result.
And a great hustle play from Miles Gibson too to get on the floor and secure possession. It's good effort. You love to see effort.
And out of that
screens when they come out of that corner, Gibson slips a little.
Nearly did the splits there in the end. Miller Jose backs it out. Shot clock at 2. He's going to take on Rob Lowe. And that's always a tough proposition, but they go again. And now the Jets rolling the dice with Kenny Goins on the floor. Gibson, that always looks short. So keep an eye on Goins. He's got 2 fouls. Back the other way, Boy Tuach sitting with 3 fouls at the moment. Dan 4-2 to Rob Lowe. Just threaded a needle.
Yeah, I like that high-low action, 4-2 punch paint. Nice pass to Rob Lowe. Finished with a nice left hook.
Couple of baskets for the Tuatara. Rose looking to respond. That may have just got the finger of 4-2 on the way through. Muhammad now, tough going for him early here tonight. Likes this matchup on Miller Jose. Turns it over into the clutches of Gibson. Miller Jose knocked away by Muhammad. Up and back. Dylan Wilkie can't deliver. Battle, that's come off the hand of Gibson. They've just steadied the Tuatara, haven't they?
They have.
Biggest margin in the game through this first quarter for the Jets was 13. It's back to 7 now. Zone again. Low on the turnaround. Left it a mile short, 4-2. Had an opportunity. Now let's see if the Jets can steady. Shot clock is about half a second inside the game clock here. Russo Nance. Gibson.
It's too strong.
And now something late here for the Tuatara. If Riley can find some space, which he does, but that is not the finish the Tuatara were looking for. First quarter belonging tonight to the Jets. Thursday night hoops in the Sal's NBL. Love it. Jets lead by 7.
And takes another shot. Don't worry about your rebounds. All right, we ready? Go. All right, let's choose eye on. Here we go. Oh, yep, there you go. Woo. Yep. Oh, yep, you grab it. You can shoot from anywhere in the key now, anywhere in the key. 13 seconds, keep it up. Nice, yeah. 7 seconds. Shoot from anywhere, you can bring it up. Nice, there we go, right there. And stop. Awesome work, let's give it up for Zahn, who also beats himself a GJ Gardner Homes basketball. Well done. Nice job, thank you, thanks guys. Perfect.
Greg's Investment, Palmerston North Boys High School, Andrew O'Donnell Property Brokers, Capture Signs, Maycroft Construction, Broker Web Services, Nathan Mooney Property Brokers, Beecham Funeral Homes, Kevin Bills Media, and Fisher Print.
Also, we do have a couple of cars that need to be moved. License plate numbers PWW34. Next, HBJ12. And last one, QQD712. If you could please move your vehicles along properly.
Nawai Hoki Mai, welcome back to Fly Palmy Arena. Thursday night hoops in the Sal's NBL. What a great time for any large pizza with thanks to Sal's. That is this week's special. 25% off. All the details on screen there, available until next Tuesday. Boyd Tuach sitting with 3 fouls from that first quarter. May not see too much of Tuach in this first half from here. Jets lead it by 7. Justin Nelson and Natu Tafale with you tonight. Natu, what did you make of the opening 10 minutes?
Yeah, I thought the Jets were really good. They had a great first quarter, good defensively.
That's going to count, by the way. That's going to count. Zach Riley pulling down on the net. And that'll count as 2 to Quentin Rose.
Yeah, great defensively, mixed up their zone with their man-to-man. Offensively, yeah, they shot the ball well. Dante Fernandez controlling the tempo really well.
By the way, with that Rose basket, he's got 11. Game high scorer right now. He's also already got a couple of steals in the game. Number 1 in the competition at 3.5. That's a turnover off his hand, though. Quentin Rose gave it to Muhammad. Muhammad gives it to the run of Zach Riley, and Dan Fortu finishing it all off.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for the Jets. A turnover and points off the turnover. Good.
Rose on the attack, and he's going to get plucked for a foul, is he? No, it is going to be on Zach Riley. Looked like a raised elbow there. That's what Zach Riley's complaining about here. We'd need to see the replay of that. Here we go, GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. What's your call? I reckon Zach Riley leaned in first, didn't he?
Yeah.
So well picked up by our Barter card officials. Let's see what the Jets do here off the baseline. Russo Nance had a wonderful opening quarter tonight. 9 points for him. Likes this matchup on Wilkie. Gets after it again. Seen that a couple of times tonight from Dante Russo Nance. Corner ball. Quentin Rose on Riley. Elevates and drains the 2.
Quentin Rose heating up at the moment.
13 for him.
Yeah.
He looks right on song tonight, doesn't he? Zach Riley for 3. Off the hand of Fortu to Wilkie. Through hands. They all get a touch, the Tuatara, and they score. Muhammad in the corner. Back to 6. Love to see an offense when it gets through every set of hands. Miller Jose, De Goynes. Russo Nance cuts a path through. Couldn't curl it in.
Muhammad.
Oh, burst of speed and rejected by Big Kenny.
Don't come in here.
Big Kenny says thanks for coming. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Muhammad on the dash. Kenny says no. One of the best defensive players in the competition, Kenny Goins. He's so underrated. He deserves to be in contention for Defensive Player of the Year, Kenny Goins. Oh, turnover.
See, this is the thing, those long cross-court passes, you've got to shorten them up. Either dribble entry and dribble them out of there, or shorten your passes.
Turnover number 5.
And that's what this zone is doing to the Tuatara's offense. That's what the zone is doing. It's stretching those guard-to-guard passes. They're getting in the passing lane.
13 turnovers a game this season, Tuatara. 5 already. Jets the second best in the competition at looking after the ball behind the Rams. They average 10.7 turnovers a game. They've got 2 at the moment. Matabanazzo into the action. Kenny Goins loves a 3. Not on this occasion.
Charlie Pride's pushing it.
Well, Muhammad's just hit a 3 as well.
Yeah.
Had a sneaky look there. Vodanovic, Wilkie, inside, outside. Tommy V says, thank you very much.
They're starting to get in it. There's good ball movement by the Tuatara there. Bit of dribble drive, kick, good reversal, ball reversal, and a great shot for Tommy V.
First score of the game for Tom Vodanovic. Matabanazzo under pressure here from Muhammad.
It's great defense from Muhammad. Suffocating.
Kenny Goins turns the corner.
Offense, stuck his hip out.
Miller Jose.
Yeah, just stuck his hip out.
By the way, Tommy Vodanovic, here's a little bit of Sal's NBL trivia for everybody. Tom Verdanovic played for the Jets. And not only played for the Jets, he's one of the rare few that exist who played in a grand final for the Jets, believe it or not. 2020 showdown, of course.
Yeah.
How's that for a little bit of trivia? I think the Jets have played in 2 grand finals ever. There he is, back-to-back threes.
He's starting to heat up.
So he's in rare company when it comes to that stat, Tom Verdanovic.
Got a tight ball game.
And Tuatara have definitely got themselves back into this contest. Slow start for them tonight. Steps around. Good basket.
Yeah, way to get him off his feet. Just a head and shoulder fake. And Wilkie got off his feet.
First field goal of the game for Miles Gibson. We know he can heat up. One of the best in the business. Wilkie,
I'm liking that.
Threes.
One of the key ways, it's an odd front defensive zone, so the offense, you attach a even front on the offensive end, and that solves the problems of the zone. So I like that.
Verdanovic with the foul. Russo Nance back onto the floor. Quentin Rose about to step up to the Chemist Warehouse tonight. Sterling Sports, your home for all team merch in the salons at NBL. A few City Edition jerseys running around as well out of the Sky Broadband Rapidly.
Yep.
QR code on screen, that'll take you straight through to the online store. Of course, head into Sterling Sports, your local Sterling Sports, and say, where's my Cells NBL gear? Nice crowd in attendance for a Thursday night. Quentin Rose puts down the
13?
first.
13 points.
I think he'll jump to 14 now.
14 now.
Make that 15. Had a good start, hasn't he? A couple of steals as well. Cells NBL action tomorrow night, by the way. We head down to Trafalgar Centre. The Giants taking on the Nuggets. Can the Giants make the finals? Surely not. Mathematically, Natu, they can. I reckon that's come off Charles' pride last from our angle. That's the way I saw it. The Tuatara don't like it, but that's the way I saw it. Not that my opinion counts, but it is going to be a Jets ball. Can the Giants make the playoffs?
Outside chance.
Got to win every game, don't they?
Yeah, they've got to win every game.
Mind you, the Giants are going to take on the Tuatara shortly as well. That'll be a good matchup. Russo Nance, Miles Gibson, covered by Wilkie. Shot clock at 2. Russo Nance knows it and has to give it up in the end.
Yeah, that's great defense from the Tuatara. Yeah, they've lifted their intensity, their activity on the defensive end. Great communication.
Dante Russo Nance trying to convince us all that he dribbled the ball then. Jets by 1 midway through the second tonight. Earlier this evening, Sky Broadband Rapidly, good game. Tuatara got home 45-27. Zach Riley burning a hole in the floor. He had an absolute beauty. 4-2, runs into trouble. Wilkie, Verdanovic, Muhammad. What do they come up with here? Covered defensively. Shot clock at 2. Luther Muhammad from deep. Can't put it away. Oh, great contest. Great contest offensively by the Tuatara.
Yeah, the Jets done a great job, but they just didn't box out. Charlie Pride and Dylan Wilkie crashed the ball.
Pallacanestro.
Definitely see the intensity on the defensive end from the Tuatara has really picked up.
Loves this shot, Miles Gibson, in and out. The Aucklanders by 1. Pallacanestro reaching in. Wilkie. Oh, turnover. Right through the gap, Kenny Goins. Fouled by Muhammad now. How will this be seen?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Did Luther Muhammad make a play on the ball here? I think the Barnacan officials are going to have a chat. Callum Welsh and Sasha Nicholson. It was on the far side from us, so we'd need to see another angle of it. But, I mean, Kenny Goins was on the go. Here we have a look. Or, I don't know if that's a play. Is that a play on the ball?
Yeah, No, I don't think that was a play on the ball.
Well, it's going to be a
it's the right
Yep,
call.
they've called a play on the ball.
Call.
So Jets to bring it in from the sideline. Jets bench isn't happy. Mind you, the Jets coaches are sitting where we're sitting, and pretty hard to see it from here.
Yeah.
We do get the benefit of the replay, of course. I think Tim McTamney is having a nice old chat there with Callum Welsh. Not sure that they're exchanging phone numbers. Here's Russo Nance. Deep 2. Back of the iron. And it's a real contest right now, isn't it? Tommy V's already hit a couple. Rob Lowe doing what he does best. Unable to finish that. And out of everything, the opportunities, the missed rebounds, it is going to be a Tuatara ball. 11 on the shot clock. Muhammad wants it high, gets it now. Rob Lowe for 3. And there's a foul underneath. This is going to go the way of the Tuatara. Goins. That's his 3rd. Big Kenny's going to sit here, and he knows that he's walking straight to the bench. Cam Glidden will be happy to see Kenny Goins take a seat.
Chickson for Collins.
Well, he's going to have to play some important minutes here to talk a win.
Yeah,
and we know the young man is capable. He's got a date with Rob Lowe, though. That is as tough as it gets. Oh, another inbound play for the Tuatara. And again, it was Riley off the baseline.
Smart play by Riley. He's got great vision.
He's a really handy mid-season inclusion, isn't he, Zach Riley?
Yeah.
Tuatara by 3, trailed by as many as 13 in the first quarter. Here's Riley on Rose. Rose over Riley for 2.
Crossover through the legs.
17
Shake
for him.
And bake. Shake and bake, all right. Great move by Rose.
Riley now through the middle, back out. Tommy V for 3.
Tommy V.
3 threes for Tommy V in this second
3 or 4
quarter.
in the second quarter. He's up to 12 real quickly.
Come to life, hasn't he? Wynyard. Russo Nance.
Yeah, Riley's doing a great job of it. Nice.
Short corner, step back. Can't put that away. Sounds like a Bon Jovi concert going on in Palmerston North tonight.
Tuatara have got some real momentum at the moment.
Riley gives up the 3, goes to Tommy V. He'll get another opportunity. And that one rings in and out.
Rebound.
Charles Pride getting after it, Natu. Ends in 2 for Luther
That's
Muhammad.
2 offensive rebounds. And they get 2 extra shots, and Muhammad hits the 2. Nice shot. Cut up by Esek. Answers with a 3.
He just did not hesitate there.
He got down real quick.
Catch and shoot. Margin at 6. Rob Lowe. And he drains the triple. Gee, I'll tell you what, Tuatara are knocking them down. 21 of their 42 shots have come from outside the arc. Rose on the drive. That's tough.
Finish.
Timeout Tuatara. Cam Glidden calling it. Took a little while for everybody to realise. 1:20 to play in the first half. Tuatara by 4. Rose at one end dominating. But raining threes at the other right now for the Tuatara. Tommy Vodanovic has 3 of them. Rob Lowe's just drained 1. Muhammad has 1. Pride has 1. Pride with his offensive rebounds. He's got 3 O-boards.
Yeah. I like the way that the Tuatara are just moving the ball, and they're moving themselves. They're moving, they're passing, they're cutting, looking for the open man. They're getting better looks on the offensive end. Bit of misdirection. Great 3-point shooting from Tommy V. And they're back in this game while they're leading with a minute 19 to go to half time. So, yeah, they've definitely got the momentum in the second quarter.
Tuatara on the road this week. They got the double. Jets tonight. Saints on Saturday. There's Tom Vidanovic. What a second quarter that man has had. It's an interesting setup for this team, isn't it? They come down here, they're 7-7. They're 5th on the ladder, which is ultra tight.
Yeah.
Every game's up for grabs. The ladder is just changing constantly, night after night. They can either go home 9-7. They can split these games and be 8-8, or lose both and be 7-9. I mean,
that's how close it is.
You just cannot let up, can you? You know, you'd almost say they get 2 wins on the road this week. They're going to make the finals.
Yep.
9 may be enough.
Yeah.
They lose 2. Wow. Everything changes.
Back to that zone. Back to that 2-3 zone.
Vidanovic, Pride. Of course, Boy Tuach is sitting with 3 fouls. That's why we haven't seen a lot of him. Luther Muhammad up and over Milajos.
Now he's starting to affect the game, Luther Muhammad. Nice little snake dribble inside the lane. Finishing with that high jumper.
He's up to 9 points now. Lowe has 9. Vidanovic has 11. Milajos, no one is going near him. And he gives up the shot to Quentin Rose. And we're going to get a BNZ player timeout. Luther Muhammad maybe taking it a little bit early.
Yeah.
But, of course, that means for all of you watching on, you get the chance to scan that QR code, fill in your details, grab your mates, grab your friends, grab your family, grab your neighbours, grab your basketball buddies, grab your schoolmates, and come along to a Sal's NBL game with thanks to BNZ. The ticket to the big game, inspiring the next generation of basketballers right across New Zealand. We love our friends at BNZ. 39.9 to play in the first half. Let's see what the Tuatara come up with here. Luther Muhammad called the BNZ player timeout. He's got something in mind. He sends Charles Pride away. Here he is on the 3.
Oh, Blow again with a great rebound.
Well, not just that. Charles Pride was there as well. He had the foot on the baseline, though, so the Jets will come up with it. And you'd probably expect the Jets... Well, they've got 27.2. They could go 2 for 1 if they...
Real quick, but that's not going to happen.
Unlikely. And they don't take their BNZ player timeout. Maybe sensing they'll get one more chance at it. Led by as much as 13 in the first quarter, now trailed by 6. Quentin Rose prepared to use every bit of time here. Sends it into the corner. Miles Gibson short.
And they got no player timeout.
Yeah, they're not going to get anything out of that. So that'll do us. Half-time here tonight at Fly Palmy Arena. Love a Thursday night in the Sal's NBL. And a good contest unfolding. Tom Vidanovic, big part of that surge in the second quarter. He's got 11 in the game. Tuatara lead by 6. Chemist Warehouse stats coming your way right after the break.
Made it all the way to Sabre Comp 2022, taking on the best sabre fighters from around the world. They hosted New Zealand's very first lightsaber dueling competition, and they're just getting started with more films and events in the works. Run by a high council, they train, duel, and welcome new recruits every week. If you want to join the action, search Palmerston North Knights on Facebook. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. May the force be with them.
battles. May the force be with you. Halftime show here tonight at Fly Palmy Arena. Grab your lightsabers and join in. Bit of fun. And the crowd enjoying the show right now. Justin Nelson, Natu Tafale with you. It's the Tuatara by 6 over the Jets. But I don't know whether to talk about what we're seeing in front of us or head to the Chemist Warehouse stats. We might have a quick look at the stats, Natu. Take us through them. Great first half, good contest unfolding.
Yeah, great contest unfolding. Jets got out quick. Tuatara managed to recover in that second quarter. Leading point scorer, Quinton Rose, up to 19 in the first half.
Yeah, been good. Need
Yeah.
more out of Miles Gibson.
Yeah, Tom Verona did ditch for the Tuatara. He's had a quick 11. Rob Lowe 9, Mohammed with 9, Russo Nats with 9, Miller Joseph with 5 for the Jets, Mick Gibson for 4, Fortu with 6, and Wilkie with 5 for the Tuatara.
Pride leading the rebounds with 6. I can tell you that 3 of those are off the offensive glass. He's been really, really good overall. Tuatara leading the rebounds 28-19. The assists, Riley has been terrific, especially off the baseline.
Yep.
2 of those assists are baseline inbound plays. 3 assists for Luther Muhammad as well. A couple of blocks. Isaac Miller-Jose, we're used to seeing that. Kenny Goins has got some foul trouble. Boyd Tuach in a similar position for the Tuatara. And there's the steals. Quinton Rose, best in the business, already has a couple. Look at that imposing figure. There he is. He's in the house. Darth Vader visiting the Cells NBL tonight. Hope you're enjoying all of the action right here on Sky Sports, right around the world on FIBA YouTube. And, of course, hello to all of our friends tonight on ESPN in the United States. And we are beaming in to China tonight as well. Second half not too far away. Tuatara lead by 6.
Let's put our hands together for the Palmerston North Knights. Shout out to our sponsors.
Vining Group, Basketball Manawatū, Eileen Farquhar Property Brokers, Fisher Print, Yorb, Chapel Architecture, Shane Jones Painters, K Nitstu Property Brokers, McDougall's, and Allsco.
Alright, we've got 4 minutes until the second half starts. So, we're going to give away another GJ Gardner Homes basketball with a little chicken banana. I think it's what we wanted. Yep. Woo! Alright.
Welcome back, Palmy Arena, half-time here, second half not too far away. Sal's NBL action, Tuatara leading the Jets 46-40. Bit of a half-time spectacular tonight with Star Wars in the house. I'm actually just looking at a stormtrooper walking around without the helmet on. That is a bit of a different sight. Great to see the fans out in full force tonight. NixonPick.com, there's the poll on screen. 55% going with the Aucklanders tonight. But just like the poll, Manawatū Tofale, it is line ball stuff tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a close one. And I think it'll remain close throughout the game. One of these teams, you know, you look at the Tuatara, one stat that stands out is those 13 offensive rebounds and getting second shots off that. And for the Jets, they're in a bit of foul trouble. You know, Kenny Goins has got 3. So, you know, that's going to be challenging in the second half. And will the Jets come out in the zone at the beginning of the third quarter, or will they go to man-to-man?
Always a lot of fun, isn't it, here at Palmy Arena? They are wonderful fans here in Palmerston North. Always out for a good time. And Casey and I often talk about Palmy. We talk about coming here to see games in Palmerston North, and we would love to own a shop in downtown Palmerston North that only sold green things, because we reckon we'd clean up. You lived here for 3 years.
Yeah, I think you would clean up. You know, it's a rural provincial town, so there's lots of greenery around,
look
mate.
At that. Have a look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about. These fans come out and they just do not disappoint. Well, those ones do, but anyway. What do you reckon the message would have been at halftime for the Jets?
I think for the Jets, they're boxing out. They've got to box out. You know, giving up 13 no boards. So that's one work on in the second half.
Even the cans are green here in Palmy.
So that's the work on for them. I think the Tuatara, I think, you know, Coach Glenn has now found a solution to that zone. You know, that odd front defensive zone. Counter it with an even front offensive. So yeah, that's been successful for them in the later stages of their second quarter.
Join us tomorrow night as we head down to the Trafalgar Centre. Hugh Bainan and Tommy Ingham on the call as the Giants take on the Nuggets, and the Giants must win. Second half not too far away here. Great comeback through that second quarter by the Tuatara. And they lead this one by 6. Keep an eye on Boy Tuach. He'll start this second half. 3 fouls for him. Kenny Goins starting for the Jets. He's on 3 fouls. They're the 2 to watch.
And Tuach is fresh now. You know, he's set the whole of the first half.
He's played
fresh.
6 minutes.
Yeah, 6 minutes. He's fresh. He's ready to go. And he's got 3 fouls to give. So that great tactic by a coach.
Jets have got to get Miles Gibson going. Only 4 points for him. Kenny Goins hasn't scored, by the way. Here we go. Second half underway. Hope you're enjoying all of the action. Pleasure as always to be bringing it your way. What a start by
Great
the Tuatara.
misdirection at the top there.
Tuach. How big was that as Rose responds at the other end?
That was the play of the game. Play of the month.
Boy, Tuach. Thanks for coming. We're going to get another look at that in just a moment. Strap yourselves in. Here he is. Forget about only playing 6 minutes. He's come up with the highlight of the game. Russo Nan step back 3. Looked great off the hand, didn't it? Just what the Jets needed.
Starting to get their shot going.
Scoreboard ticks over. Margin back to 3. Tuach on the drive, looking for Rob Lowe. Oh, look who comes up with it, Charles Pride. He has been in the right place at the right time all night.
He's jamming, he's getting in those little seams, trying to get to the basket for a tip-in or an offensive rebound.
He's done some really special things tonight, Charles Pride. Goins turns the corner, deep 2, looks short off the hand, it was. Gee, I can't wait to see that Tuatara slam again. It was an absolute beauty. Mohammed. Rob Lowe is down low. True to his name, they elect to go up high to Mohammed. Russo Nance. On Mohammed, on the drive. Bustling, banging bodies. Quinton Rose in the corner. Kenny Goins had it and lost it. And that's going to give us a chance to go to the GJ Gardner Homes replay. Here we go. This was the start of the third quarter. First play. Oh, nice.
Yeah, great back screen on that weak side by Tommy V.
Oh, he had plenty of admirers on the sidelines as well. Actually, when we get a chance to look at that again, the Tuatara teammates are up on the bench. What was Zach Riley doing? Tuatara turns it over, or does he? Yes, he does. Russo Nance comes up with it. Miles Gibson on the drive. Vodanovic has fouled him. And that'll send Gibson to the Chemist Warehouse. He'll be desperate to get his eye in. 1 of 6 shooting tonight for Miles Gibson as he steps up to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. 86% shooter from this spot this season. And don't forget, every made shot from the Chemist Warehouse stripe in season 2025. Our wonderful friends at the Chemist Warehouse, they donate money to Hoops in Parks and Hoops in Schools right across New Zealand. Wonderful Basketball New Zealand program and great support from Chemist Warehouse. Well done.
Second one.
Couple of misses there. Tuatara. Pride for 3. Goins
Never
nice and
like
strong.
making that one, yep.
6th rebound for Goins. Oh, well, clumsy turnover for the Jets, but I'm going to go to Kenny Goins here and say, hey, Isaac Miller-Jones is not expecting that pass.
Yep.
Why are you passing it to him? Unfortunate for the Jets. They could be made to pay here. Does this zone stand up? Tommy V in and out. Maybe dodged a bullet there, the Jets. Russo Nance. Miles Gibson on Mohammed. Up and over the top.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah, he's starting to heat up.
He moves to 8. He did actually split that pair earlier from the Chemist Warehouse. I think he said he missed both. He didn't.
Jets back in the zone. Yeah.
Mohammed. Tommy V just opened up a gap there for him. That's come off a Jets hand. 4.6 on the shot clock. Margin is 1. Gee, we've seen some good games here this season, haven't we? Mohammed to Pride, down to 3, down to 2. I'm not sure he realises he's got to go hard, he's got to go late, and he comes up with something special.
Running hook.
Charles Pride tonight, 7 points, 5 rebounds, an assist. Kenny Goins for 3.
Nice. There's Dante Russo Nance doing his little thing, and great pitch back for that 3.
First points of the night for Kenny Goins. Tuatara is fouled on the way to the hoop. Zach Riley about to come into the game. Speaking of Zach Riley coming onto the floor, here's that Tuatara dunk right at the start of the third quarter. Now, we'll go to the Tuatara bench here. Oh, there's the other angle. Look at that. What's Zach Riley doing? He's like, yeah, whatever. Have a look at him in the background. Just rubbing the back of his head. Yeah, okay. That's not too bad. There he is. Zach Riley onto the floor.
Still 2 on the score sheet.
There it is, you're right. How good was Zach Riley in the Sky Broadband Rapid League earlier tonight? Dominated, didn't he? Tuatara winning that game 45-27. Russo Nance searching for 2. Gets 2.
Nice little hook shot. He's able just to turn the corner and glide, almost glide through the hoop.
He's got 14 now, tied up again. Tuatara runs into Miller Jose. Luther Muhammad misses from the corner. Russo Nance cleans it up. Gibson, fancy, around Muhammad. Now launches over low for two.
Both teams going up and down with misses.
Midway through the third. Vodanovic. Miller Jose did well. Into the hands of Gibson. Off to Rose. Rose!
Block. Tuatara got a piece of that.
Slapped it off the glass. Muhammad now. Rob Lowe, I was going to say they settled. All he did was settle for three.
Yeah. You got to turn him into a dribbler. You got to turn him into a driver and not let him sit out there and shoot that. That's easy for Rob Lowe. And there's Goins. Oh.
Rob Lowe at one end. Goins unable to replicate at the other. Rob Lowe, 12 points now on the Chemist Warehouse stat sheet. And Tuatara. Well, he just delivered that at the ankles of Big Rob, didn't he?
Trying to be too smart. They won.
Yeah, it's a tough pass.
Would have been a lot better. A lob pass would have been better on that one.
Well, seven-footers do not expect to pick that up from the bootlaces, do they?
Pass.
They both sit down and have a chat about it. Rekindle their offensive partnership, and we're just going to have a fix-up on the clock here. So, quick break. Cam Glidden, debut season in his coaching career. What a playing career Cam Glidden had.
Oh, yeah.
Made the All-Star 5 in the NZNBL back in 2019 when he was playing for the Canterbury Rams.
And I think he's done a phenomenal job with Tuatara this year. Rookie coach this year.
Yep.
Some of the messages I'm listening to in those timeouts, spot on with his group. And, you know, he's got a long coaching career ahead of him.
Yeah, he has. One of the very best to come out of Australia. The boy from WA. Loved watching him through his career, and I think he's going to be a coach for a long, long time. Gibson at one end. Gets it back to one. There's Riley on the drive, just leaning in Thana Paese. Tuatara back in action on Saturday night. They take on the Saints in the capital. Grab your tickets for that one. Always a big crowd down at TSB Arena. Saints fans will be out in force. Wilkie. Just cannot give him that amount of time, can you?
But it's a great drive by Dan Fortu. He tracks the defense and then pitches in the corner to a wide open Wilkie.
Well, one of the best ways to break down that zone is definitely ball movement. But once you get those feet in the paint and you kick it outside.
There's a great wall up there from Dan Fortu.
And I reckon progressively as the game has gone on, Natu, just to get back to what I was saying, against that zone, what the Tuatara have done, feet inside the paint.
Yep.
Bang. Kick it out.
Kick it out. Nice and moved. Dribble into the seams. Pitch it out. Ball reversal real quickly to an open shot. So they've found solutions here, but the game is still teetering. You know, they've only got a 4-point lead here.
And a chance for the Jets to bring that margin down. That looked like a foul on Wilkie. It is. Mikey Graham, the Bartercard official, straight onto that. No complaints from the sidelines. Arms crossed, looking on pensively at the moment. Pacing the sidelines, Cam Glidden. Even Tony Webster's up out of his seat tonight.
Yeah.
That's how big a game it is.
Oh, you know when there's something going on and he's not happy, he's out of his seat and with his hands on his hips.
Quentin Rose getting up.
Great wall up. That's the second wall up. Great wall up we've seen from the Tuatara.
Yeah, Zach Riley on that occasion.
Zach Riley on that occasion. Dan Fortu on the first occasion.
Speaking of Tony Webster, that's not Tony Webster, by the way. That's Tim McTagney. Speaking of this man, Coach Tony Webster, we talked about it before the game. There is a growing belief amongst Jets fans that we are going to see the Webster family reunited next week when the Jets play the Rams right here at Fly Palmy Arena.
Sorry.
How good would that be?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Him coaching his boys, you know, and just, wouldn't that be a story?
It would be a great story.
They make the Final Four.
Yep, be a great story.
Oh, what a great story that would be.
Word before the game tonight, Corey Webster will be back next week from a hip injury, and a real whisper that Ty Webster is currently in transit from France, I believe, from Europe, on his way back to New Zealand. Keep an eye on that. Riley with the miss.
Got out of jail there, the Jets. They just need to get back to the structure.
Gibson, corner, Tharapiese, sharpshooter. Can't land the blow.
Riley just tapped it.
Muhammad up quick,
That's
drains the two.
That foul line is where he makes his living.
Margin at 8.
Good transition hoop there for Tuatara.
Timeout Jets. Luther Muhammad up to 11 points to go with 5 rebounds, 5 assists and 2 steals tonight. Leading the way for the Tuatara. Tommy Vodanovic has 13 points in the game now. And your lead scorer with thanks to Chemist Warehouse for the Jets, Quinton Rose, 21 points. Sal's NBL highlight show coming your way next Tuesday. Looking forward to that one. And I reckon there'll be a boy to arch dunk that will not only feature in that highlight show, it's got to be Chemist Warehouse top 5 plays and dunk of the week, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
That is thunderous. I'm still having a laugh at Zach Riley, by the way, too. So 2:11 to play in this third quarter. There is Coach Webster having a chat to the troops. Jets have only lost 1 game here this season. That was to the Saints by 1. Tuatara win this game by 6 or more tonight. They leapfrog the Jets on the Sal's NBL ladder and move into 4th. So there's a fair bit at stake. About to get back underway. Miles Gibson up to 10 in the game, had 4 at half-time. You just feel like he's got a bit left in him.
It's in this onset.
Russo Nance. Here's Tharapiese getting some good burn. Russo Nance for 3.
Good
Collins.
board, Collins. Now that's better.
Did well, didn't he? Front position on Vodanovic. Sets the screen now for Russo Nance. They get the switch defensively, and Dante's gone the old Thursday night wedgie.
And that will be Jets position, Yeah, I think it's Jets.
Well, the Tuatara started with possession to start the quarter.
No?
I think it's going to be a Jets ball.
Yeah,
it is.
That's
Jets
been
position. Corrected. Yep. So the Jets are going to come forward here. Jets were all back defensively.
Come on, guys.
Switch on. Coaches don't forget. They know whose arrow it is. These 2 guys here, they knew. Shot clock at 14. Tharapiese to bring it in. Got to get it in quickly, and he does in the end. Russo Nance, Collins slips through. Wilkie defensively. What can he do here? Tharapiese around Vodanovic. Long 2.
Yeah, nice. Nice for the young man.
He's hit a couple of nice baskets tonight, Tyson Tharapiese.
Back in the zone.
Jets hanging in, Tharapiese reaching in. Second foul of the game for him. Here's Luther Muhammad. What a star he was last season for the Bulls. On the go, can't put it away.
Dante Nance with his hands.
He looks up, court right now. I had Miles Gibson with a lot of space, goes for 3, and why not? Over the top of his mate, Zach Riley.
So, former teammates when they were with the Auckland Huskies.
Yeah, they know each other.
Yeah.
And a big three as well. Gee, they needed that. Now they've got to play great defense,
Yeah,
and they do. Miller, Jose and Collins working well defensively deep there. Gee, I'll tell you what, if they come up with a three here, you're going to hear this crowd in full voice. 9 on the shot clock. Russo Nance.
Great screen by Collins. Great screen by Collins.
And they're going to get it back, are they? No, Zach Riley mid-court. He's got runners either side. To the left, he's got Wilkie. And as big as the basket was from Russo Nance, Dylan Wilkie has just gone bang. Quarter to play here tonight at Palmy Arena. It's a close call.
It's the way to answer the run.
Tuatara by 6. Back with the last quarter after the break. Don't go away.
Nice, you can come anywhere. There we go. Gonna get tickets to the next home game. 6 seconds. 3 seconds. And done. Let's give it up for Braxton. Well done, Braxton. You've got yourself a ticket to the next home game. Good job. And you can take that GJ card and home basketball too. Well done.
For over 30 years, the provinces have been our home. We help Kiwis buy, sell and manage their properties. But for us, property is about people, even more than it's about buildings and land. We work hard for our customers because where we come from, that's the way things are done. And that's why they come back to us, time and time again. Because nothing beats working with people you trust. We're property brokers, and we're proud to be here.
Also a massive shout out to our sponsors.
Thieves Tire Service, a rusted coffee, Heat Right, The Bed Bar, Max Wilson Diamond Jewelry, BHP Bola Academy, EG.co.nz, The Leader.
One to play tonight here in the Salza NBL. Close one. Tuatara leading the Jets by 6. Nothing in this contest. It's been a ripper all night. Benny the Bear is in the house. So too the Sal's Super Special for week 13 of the season. Any large pizza, 25% off. Or as my good friend Casey Frank says, 2 free slices. Get into it. There's all the details on screen. That's available until next Tuesday. Underway. First blow. Yes,
Dylan
indeed.
Wilkie.
Dylan Wilkie, another 3.
That's his 14th point. He's been great for the Tuatara off the bench. Get into his spot as a shooter. You want to get to your spot and you knock it down.
He is 4 of 6 from beyond the arc tonight, Dylan Wilkie. And that is a massive blow. Scored the 3, of course, before the end of the third and opens up the 4th with a 3. So back-to-back for him. And it's a big basket. That's a big block as well.
Yeah, great block by Kenny Goins. Now can the Jets get something going here?
Margin at 9. Rose has been reasonably well held through that third. What did he have at half-time? 19? Only had 2 points in that third quarter. Again, the Tuatara moving the ball well. Mohamed Vidanovic with the screen. Mohamed up over Pallacanestro for 2. They are heating right up, aren't they?
Yep.
Game high, 11-point margin for the Tuatara. Of course, the Jets led by 13 in the first. Goins.
Nice pick and pop for Goins. And the Jets needed that to stem that run.
Couple of threes tonight for Kenny Goins. Zach Riley on the drive, doubled.
Good kick to Zach Riley.
Vidanovic to Mohamed. Cometh the man, cometh Mohamed.
Mohamed.
Good basket for Luther Muhammad. Quentin Rose looked great off the hand. A little bit too deep. Muhammad, by the way, up to 16.
The Jets still in the zone. Still in this 2-3 zone.
Riley, catch and drive. Wilkie sends it back to Riley. Corner ball, look out.
Tom Vodanovich.
He goes a little bit too long and reaching in there. Dan Fortu with the foul. So the Tuatara have made their move here. Gibson about to sub back in for the Jets. Vodanovich takes a break for the Tuatara. Rob Lowe back into the action. Let's have a quick chat about Rob Lowe. Tonight, 12 points, 6 rebounds, serviceable, but you mentioned it to me during a commercial break at halftime. Is he 100%?
Yeah, I just felt like he was labouring. You know, he's mind you, they got the double header, and he's not the spring chicken he used to be. But I just felt like he looked like he was labouring in that first half.
One to keep an eye on. Turnover, not a good pass. Falls into the clutches of Gibson. Gibson on Lowe. Lowe did really well, didn't he?
Yep.
Defensive master is Rob Lowe.
Yep.
Former Defensive Player of the Year, of course. And right there, maybe copped a little bit of the hand, but you take them as they come. Hand is part of the ball, isn't it? Is that how it works?
It is. Hand's part of the ball. Muhammad down quickly.
Searching, isn't he?
And there's Dylan Wilkie open.
Wow.
Wide open.
Timeout for the Jets here. Yeah. What is going on? Way too much space for this young man. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Look at this. He has set up a caravan out there.
Yep.
Dylan Wilkie is having some sort of a night off the bench tonight for the Tuatara. 17 points, 6 of 8 shooting, 5 of 7 from downtown. Game MVP, poll on screen right now. QR codes there. Quentin Rose and Tom Vodanovich leading the way with 27% each. Dylan Wilkie on 9%. Show him some love, viewers. Show him some love, fans.
As a shooter, you just got to keep moving, and he has. He's just been moving. Al cuts to the baseline, getting into that corner. If he hit the net, doesn't have it, he dribble backs out, pitches it, and then keeps moving again. And then you've got Muhammad driving into those paint touches and kicking it out for him to knock his 3 down. So, all credit to the young man. He's moving, he's shooting the ball, and that's what shooters want. They want space.
Averages 5 points a game this season, Dylan Wilkie. Tonight, 17 points on 75% shooting in 17 and a half minutes. There he is, starring right now. And I tell you what I like here. Cam Glidden is just going, nope, get back out there.
Yep. And his defense has been really solid as well.
Really good.
Yeah, it's been real good.
A night to remember for Dylan Wilkie here in Palmerston North. And look at this, 12-point margin right now. Don't forget the Jets, 6 wins, 1 loss here this season. And that loss was by 1 point. That's come off the leg of Quentin Rose. That is a Tuatara ball, and look what it means to Luther Muhammad.
Yeah, the Jets were going to a little bit of head tap there, but just sloppy on that pass.
11-3 run in this last quarter too.
Yeah, Muhammad shooting the gap, look.
Bit of passion there.
Yep.
And not only do they come up with it, because it went all the way down to the end of the court, they've got it under the basket. And look who's got it. Zach Riley. 2 assists off the baseline tonight. Into Muhammad. Look out for Wilkie, the sharpshooter this evening. Lowe wants it inside on the seal. Couple to beat.
Too big.
Rob
Nice
Lowe.
seal with Dante Rusaner. It's just too big.
He's got 14. Margin at 16. Rose goes searching.
Nice. I'll tell you what, Justin. Quentin Rose, since he's come, first game, shaky. Since then,
first game, horrible. Let's be honest.
Okay, horrible. Since then,
yeah, really good.
He's been really good for the Jets.
I mean, it quite often happens with imports, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The first one is hard. The first one is tough. Yeah. Mind you, one man that I saw absolutely master.
Look at those kicks.
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice. One guy that I saw master his debut game is on display tonight, and he's got the ball in his hands right now. Remember Luther Muhammad in his first game last season for the Bulls?
Did he have 35 or
36, I think it was. And he'd been off a plane for 10 hours. Just got into the country, down at the Trafalgar Centre that was. What a memorable night for Luther Muhammad, or afternoon, I should say. And there he is, right on cue as we talk about him. Luther Muhammad drains the triple, and he's up to 19. Rose on Muhammad, step back deep, 2.
It was a good contest from Muhammad. That's great defense.
83 plays 66. Big last quarter unfolding for the Tuatara. Lowe's got the size again inside. Gibson comes across and just snatches it.
Thank you.
Everything's got to be good for the Jets from here.
Yeah.
Dan Fortu with the foul. Gibson to the Chemist Warehouse.
And just talking about, well, there's Gibson stealing the ball. Just talking about Quinton Rose. He's doing it on both ends of the floor.
Yep.
Defensively, he's really sound. Great hands, great anticipation skills. Reads the passing lanes.
19-5 run over the last 4.5 minutes by the Tuatara. 19-5. Make that 19-6. First one down from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Some money being donated to Hoops in Parks and Hoops in Schools, with thanks to our friends at Chemist Warehouse, and add a little bit more for good measure. Got to get a stop now, the Jets. We've seen them come back from worse than this. It's not beyond them. Got to get a stop. Vidanovic twisting,
nice
stepping.
Fake. Nice step through. Solid move from Tommy V.
That's going to be tough for Dante Rousseau-Nance. Somehow got it back. Here's Miles Gibson. Back to his point guard. Wants it down low on Riley, who steps through and takes it away.
That's great D from Zach Riley. Great swim action. Get that arm over the top, and there's Dylan Wilkie. Ooh.
Rare miss for that young man. Gibson through the gap, and a foul from Tommy Vidanovic, who puts his hand up to claim that one. Made it tough for the American.
I want to say the Jets are out of this game. You know, Gibson makes these two. They're only down 11. Sorry, no. See, I looked up at the scores.
A little bit more than that.
Yeah.
17 at the moment. You and I spoke about this before we came on air tonight, Natu, and we both came into the conversation with the same thought. And as we talked it through, we discovered that we're thinking the same thing, and that is, if this Tuatara team gets on a run, finds some hot form over the next few weeks, they are a sneaky chance.
Yep.
They are a dark horse for me, and it's so tight.
Yep.
It is so tight. But Cam Glidden's team for me is the smoky, the outsider, who could cause some damage come the final 6. And I reckon we've seen a bit of it tonight, haven't we?
Yeah.
4.5 to play. Muhammad, mid-season recruit. Lowe missed the tip in. Rose takes on Zach Riley, does well defensively, young Riley. And the Jets are going to keep it. He's one of the most theatrical players, Luther Muhammad, isn't he?
Contorts his body when he goes to the basket.
Yeah, has a smile on his face, and even when he's complaining to the Bartercard officials, he's jumping around. What can Rousseau-Nance do here? Got to come up with some special things. That pass is not going to be it, but they will get it back with 2.9 to play.
Yeah, Dante's been a little bit quiet in this quarter. You know, that just there turning, coming off that on. I would really like to see him just go to the basket.
I'm going to add another thing about the Tuatara that we are seeing unfold tonight that is a really good sign if you're an Auckland Tuatara fan.
Yep.
Dylan Wilkie and Zach Riley. Dylan Wilkie, 20.5 minutes tonight. Zach Riley, nearly 23 minutes as Rose can't score. Charles Pride, 17 minutes. Boy Tuatara, 11 minutes. So these young Kiwis are coming into their own, aren't they?
Yep.
And Cam Glidden is giving them every opportunity. You love to see it. Vodanovic, Gibson got a piece of it. There is one of those young men I was just talking about, Zach Riley.
Ball. The effort to get on that loose ball.
Margin back out to 15. Gibson for 3. Not his night. Goins, Dante Russo Nance.
It's it back to 14, 87-73.
Maybe, just maybe. 3 minutes to play. Russo Nance has 20. Early trigger there for the Tuatara. Back-to-back threes makes it interesting. Gibson, or maybe underneath to Rose. Oh, well done, Rob Lowe with the block. Rose goes again. Back to Gibson, and I reckon Lowe got a piece of that
too.
So the defensive prowess of Rob Lowe.
A little bit of panic with the Jets. They're only down 40. They're just panicking a bit on offense, the Jets.
Well, they had players on the arc waiting for it then as well.
Yeah.
Muhammad, deep 2 over Miller Jose. Off hands, Russo Nance. Gets the dribble penetration, dumps it in to Miles Gibson. They're just not moving the ball at the moment.
No, it's just one pass shot. One pass, you go.
Not getting it through hands, and that's the story that's unfolding right now. Also, what this man is doing, Luther Muhammad.
Wow.
Another 2 for him. 21 in the game with thanks to the Chemist Warehouse stat sheet. And this Tuatara team starting to make a statement. Foul is called. This might be against Miles Gibson underneath.
And again, just like you said before, Justin, you know, Rose drove.
It's going to be Rose, sorry. Yep.
He had Dante Russo Nance wide open at the top. Just went to the basket. Tried to finish. Rob Lowe was there.
Rose has been called for the fend-off on Riley there. Just that outstretched hand as he got on the drive. That's what the foul was for. 1:53 to play. I know you weren't prepared to call it about a minute and a half ago, but I'm prepared to call it right now. Tuatara will win this game tonight. They will go to 8 wins and 7 losses, and they jump over the Jets, and they will go into 4th position on the ladder. So a big night tonight for the Aucklanders. And really good signs from a couple of their young Kiwis as well in Zach Riley and Dylan Wilkie. In fact, they know they've got it because Josh Ledger, Nick Barrow, Chris McIntosh have all come onto the floor. Gibson.
Nice block by Josh Ledger.
Gibson goes again, somehow gets it to go. Well, they won the Sky Broadband Rapid League 45-27. They're going to get some good points percentage out of this one as well. And they will move to 4th on the ladder. Miller Jose with the block. Gibson, Russo Nance, too deep on the shot. Rose fancy stuff to Miller Jose. It's been one of those quarters, hasn't it, for the Jets tonight?
It has. Seems like there's been a lid on the basket. Remind you that you've got to commend the Tuatara's defense.
Really good.
The transition defense, they got back real quick, balling up.
Good patience there from Dan Fortu. Tuatara will keep possession. Iwane coming on to the court. And Luther Muhammad, that's his night done. A good night as well. He's slotting in nicely into this team, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Let's see what the Tuatara come up with late here. McIntosh from the corner. Rose with the rebound. Has a couple of defenders tracking him. Sets it up for Miller Jose. quiet night for Isaac Miller-Joe, 7 points, just 1 rebound for him. He averages 6 a game. Little hand in there from Russo Nance.
Bad 4-2 now.
And Rose fouls from behind. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. And there's the Miller-Joe's finish underneath. Just the 1 rebound, as I said, averages 6 a game. The rebound count overall is 52-44. Miles Gibson with 10 rebounds. Kenny Goins with 11. Quentin Rose and Dylan Wilkie on the move, sharing the MVP tonight. Can we get Dylan Wilkie over the line tonight? Let's hope so.
Yeah, he deserves it. Come on now.
What a game from him tonight. 17 points off the bench. And came up with some big baskets when it counted, when his team most needed it. He broke it open tonight, Dylan Wilkie. He was the man. And 4-2 for 3. And that's it. Game over. Big win tonight for the J Cup Auckland Tuatara. They get home 89-77. There is Dylan Wilkie. That 3 that he landed before three-quarter time, and then the first 3 of the last quarter, that really busted it open.
Yep.
He still sits at 25% on the MVP. Your last chance to vote. Scan that QR code. Let's see if we can get this man home tonight as the MVP. Dylan Wilkie, star of the show, and a game to remember for him.
Yeah.
So the Tuatara with the win go to 8-7, and they will replace the Jets in 4th position. They will drop to 5th, the Jets. Only their 2nd loss at home this season, their biggest loss at home this season. And they will need to go away and lick their wounds. The Jets' next 3 games, they got the Rams here next. Then they're on the road, the Bulls away, and then a return bout with the Tuatara. They play them away. The Tuatara's next 3 games, Saints coming up in 48 hours. Sharks at home in Auckland. And then they're on the road to Nelson to take on the Giants. A really good win tonight. And look at that. The viewers are responding as we speak. Dylan Wilkie has jumped well and truly to the top of the leaderboard. Well done to our viewers getting in there and voting. And the game MVP tonight is under the armpit of Rob Lowe. Dylan Wilkie is your game MVP. Well done to him. Chemist Warehouse stats for this one. Let's have a look. Run us through them.
Quentin Rose, 23 points. Dante Wilson out for 20. Miles Gibson had a quiet 16.
Don't even worry about mentioning the rest of them.
Yeah.
Go to the right side of the screen.
Mohammed with 21. Dylan Wilkie with 17. Tom Vodonovich for 15. And Rob Lowe with 14. And Tuach with 7. Rebounds, Kenny Goins got 10. Miles Gibson got 10 and 8 with for Dante Russo-Nance, 7 with Quentin Rose and 2 with Collins. Fotu had 9.
Yeah, he crept up there, Dan Fotu, didn't he?
Rob Lowe, Zach Riley both had 8. Luther Mohammed had 7. Tom Vodonovich with 5.
Let's have a look at the assists in this one tonight. Luther Mohammed, great all-round game from him. He had 8 assists, really loved what he did. Zach Riley with some handy touches as well. As we click over to the blocks, Miller-Jose with 3 of those, Goins with a couple, and the steals tonight with thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Gibson with 3 leads the way. As I said, Luther Mohammed, a good all-round game. Star Wars night tonight here at Fly Palmy Arena. Bit of fun. Halftime show was pretty special. And the fans stick around on a Thursday evening to meet the stars of the show. One of the great parts of the Sal's NBL. You get the chance to meet the players after every game. Here's what's coming up tomorrow night. Giants take on the Nuggets. Giants have to win to keep their finals chances alive. Tuatara to back it up in 48 hours. Based on what you saw tonight, chance against the Saints?
Yeah, they're a chance. They're a chance. Definitely a chance. You know, that just you look at the contribution that Dylan Wilkie came off the bench and had. Tuach hardly played.
Zach Riley off the bench.
Yeah, Zach Riley came off and had some influence on their game as well. Charlie Pride didn't play much. So, you know, they're well rested. Rob Lowe, well rested. So, you know, they're well rested and ready to go into the, You know, the Saints in TSB Arena. Can they get it done?
Saints are waiting for them.
it'll be
Hawks in the Airs on Sunday, by the way. Hawks need to find some form in a hurry. Airs split the southern swing last week. And I'm really looking forward to that game on Sunday night. Sharks at home, they're tough to beat down there. And they want finals this season. They're doing enough to give it a shake. And you know what? All eyes on the Bulls on Sunday night. They've lost their last 6. They've dropped from 3rd to 9th on the ladder. Bulls fans will be tuning in tonight. Maybe a player or two, maybe the coaching staff. They need to step up. They need to show us what they're made of if they're going to be a playoffs team in season 2025. Time for the Bulls to find some spirit and get back on the charge.
Yeah, stop being pretenders. Come on.
Oh, hello. Righty-ho. Hope you've had a good night tonight. Been an absolute pleasure to bring it to you. A win tonight for the Tuatara. They get home by 12 and they are in to the top 4. On behalf of Ngātu Tofale, the rest of our team here with thanks to Sky Sport. Justin Nelson wishing you all the very best for a Thursday night. We'll see you back for more Sal's NBL Giants and Nuggets coming your way from the Trafalgar Centre tomorrow night. See you then.